Hey guys, my name's Win and I make videos on how to style and manage curly hair. Today I thought I would do a short video on some tips and tricks for when you're trying to grow out your hair from maybe it's completely shaved, maybe it's an undercut. You've been wanting to do it a while and you don't know how to get there. These are some ways that might help you get there a little faster and easier. So I guess the first tip I would say is take a picture at the same time, once a month or twice a month, with the same lighting, with the same pose. And the reason that is because sometimes during this journey, you're going to get a little discouraged and feel like it's not growing at all or it looks terrible. And sometimes when you feel like that, it's really nice to be able to just go back, look through some old pictures and like see some evidence that your hair is actually growing and you're kind of making progress on this journey. For anyone who's curious, I've been growing my hair for about 22 months now. And this is actually the second time I've grown it from a short haircut to a long haircut. Honestly, the second time was way easier, just because I knew what to expect. But yeah, so this is about what you can expect, especially if you have curly hair in about 22 months. If you have straighter hair, it'll tend to show length a lot faster. But I think sometimes during the awkward stage, it can be a little bit harder to figure out ways to sort of manage it or at least hide things quite so well. And along that same line, another tip I have is you're going to have to be willing to accept some amount of awkwardness. Like there's going to be some phases where the top is way longer and you have no idea what to do with it, or the sides are just kind of all over your ears and puffing out and you look crazy. But you just kind of have to like accept that as part of the process. Know it's going to be over pretty soon and tough through it basically. I guess along those same lines, you're also going to have to be willing to learn some new ways to take care of your hair. So when it's short, it's really easy to just like, put a little bit of product in it and it'll kind of like stay for the most part, and it's very forgiving to mistakes, and it's pretty low maintenance, I would say. But some of those methods, I actually have a video I did when my hair was quite a bit shorter than this, of 3 ways that you can sort of manage your hair during the awkward stage that I feel like look pretty good and pretty professional. A lot of people have some issues when their employer or whatever is like, oh, you have to cut your hair, which I think is valid. I mean, we could have a whole nother discussion on the ethics of all that, but if your employer has a hard time, talk to them, see if you guys can work something out, or maybe just like let them know that you're gonna try some new hairstyles, try to tame it a little bit, but you really want to grow it long. And hopefully they're understanding and willing to work with you on that. Another thing, and something that people always ask me is like, so like what kind of hairstyle should I have to grow out my hair successfully? It kind of depends on where you're starting from. I would say a lot of people have sort of a long top and short sides, and honestly, I think that's a pretty good baseline to start from, just because as your hair grows out, you want the longness on the top to start covering the back, and eventually, like my top layer probably comes to like here. My medium layer, which is like around here, probably comes to here, and then my all the lower part, it's just as long as it is. Especially with curly hair, you want kind of a layered style. But as far as like just starting to grow your hair, if you have like 2 to 4 inches on the top and close sides, I think that should grow out pretty well. Another thing is just like stop cutting your hair. Like you can't expect to grow it out quickly if you're cutting it every other month, or even every 3 months can be a little bit too much in my opinion. Your hair grows about 1 centimeter every month, so just take that into account. It's going to take a while, so in a year you're going to grow about like 6 inches. 2 years, about 12 inches. And you really just have to like buckle up for the long haul. I would say that I would recommend probably getting a haircut like between every 4 and 6 months. Another benefit of that actually is you save a lot of money on haircuts, but you do want to keep the ends looking nice. And as it gets longer, you'll really notice it'll start to tangle a lot more. You'll start to get knots on the ends, and that's just really bad for the health of your hair. And if it starts breaking off and you're pulling it or like damaged, then it's going to get shorter anyways. So you want to control how it's getting shorter. So if you're going to be growing out your hair, it's probably a good time now to start being more kind to it. When it's a shorter hairstyle, you're going to have, you can do a lot more to it because you're going to be cutting it off like in 2 months basically. But like if you have a length like mine, this hair on the end has been on my head for almost 2 years. So from the very beginning, you want to be more healthy with your hair. Some of the ways that sort of manifests is using less heat or lower heat less often, getting a little bit better about your wash routines. So your hair needs some natural oils in it. And if you're washing it with like really strong shampoos, every day, twice a day, that's really taking out some of the natural oils and moisture that your hair needs to stay healthy, look great. And I think you'll find as you sort of start cutting that back that your hair's just going to look a lot better. So start that now, develop good habits while you can. I would also recommend just getting a silk or satin pillowcase. The reason that is because like when you're sleeping, you're moving all around, and the back of your head is getting roughed up by, a cotton pillowcase. The cuticle is kind of fraying a little bit, so to speak. And with a silk pillowcase or a satin pillowcase, it just sort of like slides over and doesn't create damage. The same goes to some degree for like wearing hats. So just think about it, like if you're wearing a hat all the time or putting something on your head and it's rubbing against your hair, it can rough up your hair cuticle. So just be a little bit wary about that. I understand, like especially when growing out and getting through the awkward stage, a lot of people like wearing hats, which is totally fine. But just be cognizant of that. I heard a story recently of some girl who wore a wool hat like almost every day for a whole year. And her hair was so damaged that she had to cut it all the way back to like 2 inches. So just keep that in mind. Your hair's going to be on your head for a long time if you're growing it out. So you really want to like take care of it now and going on into the future while you can. So I hope that kind of helps you guys a little bit. Just a couple little tips, I think, to get you on your way. Feel free to reach out and ask questions. I would love to be a support system and help for anybody who's growing their hair out. I know it's also a little bit of like a, self-discovery exercise to some degree. I mean, nobody would really think that, and I didn't think that either, but it's like you have people telling you, oh, you look better with short hair, or you're like not cute anymore, and you really have to like realize like I'm doing this for me, and I just want to see how it goes. And once you sort of gain that confidence, I feel like it sort of opens up a whole new possibility of things you can do. Hair in a way is like an outfit that you can change to suit your mood. And at least for me, somebody who is a little bit ADD and likes to change up my look a lot, I mean, there's tons of things you can do when it's long. You can put it up half up, you can do braids, you can leave it down, you can wear it in a bun, you can wear hats. The list of possibilities honestly is just endless. So I really encourage you to do it if it's something you're thinking about. Do it now while you can. We all have like a limited amount where it's still gonna look good. Eventually, old age is a real thing, and we're gonna start losing our hair. So do it while you can if you're thinking about it. I hope this helps some of you guys get through that awkward stage and sort of figure out how to start. If you'd like to follow me, I have an Instagram. It's datwin, dat.win. Obviously, this YouTube with some resources on how to style curly hair, how to manage curly hair in the awkward stage, or even just hair in general. And yeah, I'd love to have you on the journey. So hit the subscribe button if you'd like. Welcome to the family. And please feel free to ask me if you have any questions. Hope you guys have a great day, and good luck on your curly hair journey. Thanks. Bye.